My lesson was a punctuation lesson, specifically exclamation marks and question marks. I am tall and thin. I have two parts. Who am I? Exclamation mark. I am an exclamation mark. The introduction to my lesson was the riddle. So they didn't know what to expect. So I used the riddle also to draw their attention. You raise your voice when you see me. I expect an answer. I look like a cup hook. Who am I?
I think it is a question mark.
I've introduced that over 4 days. I've done the first part of the lesson on day 1, where I have asked them to listen first. And they had to listen to riddles. I've asked one on an exclamation mark and one on a question mark. When you use an exclamation mark, normally there's an emotion involved.
Emotion is when you're sometimes surprised.
Right, I could be sad, right?
An emotion is how I feel, heartbroken, sad and unhappy.
Then my lesson went on to the big book. So, I've brought a book along today, Dream Big, and it says, read. I've used the big book because that was based on our theme for the week, which is history, or the theme was how people lived long ago, and I incorporated that with the subject history. No! Would you tell us? There are 2 punctuation marks under.
Teacher, I see an exclamation mark and a question mark.
Well done. That's quite right. Well done. I also added ellipses. Maybe let's see. And then we have something else here. Angezwa?
Ellipses.
And what does ellipses mean? Junior?
Teacher, ellipses mean if something is going to continue or not.
Or we don't know what is going to happen. Right. As I went through the big book, we discussed the pictures because we were incorporating history with language, because this is a balanced language approach. Do you think the dolls look the same as yours? No! Could you show us? Remember? Is this a plastic doll? No, it's not plastic. And our dolls today are mostly made of plastic. All right. So that is why we said the toys they had many years ago were very special, because many of the toys were handmade. After that, we went on to a game that we played. Now, the game we played was basically to have fun and to enjoy learning about the structure of English. So, they are going to read. It's something on their little card. It's either going to be an exclamation, all right, or it's going to be a question mark. I've explained to the learners what we were going to do. A few of them had the symbol of the exclamation mark. Some had the question mark.
Do you know how to bake a cake?
Right, Zama, what is that?
This is a question mark.
Azamasi, when do we use a question mark?
When we ask a question.
When someone asks a question.
The soldier yelled, "Attention!"
What is that?
Exclamation mark.
An exclamation mark. So why will we use an exclamation mark when we say the soldier yelled?
When someone is shouting or talking louder.
When someone shouts something or says something louder as well. Thank you. So, red group, your card says, your activity card says, fill in the correct punctuation. All right? I'm not going to read through your questions because you are able to read through it yourself. All right? And the punctuation you're filling in, color. Right, yellow group. So, what does your instruction say? Choose the correct punctuation mark. All right, I'm going to read the first question of her card. It says, children and their parents made their toys by hand. So is that a question or an exclamation?
Exclamation.
Right, okay. Whatever you choose, you can also write in color. Right. So let's get to the greens and oranges. This group, let's read your instruction. It says, sort these sentences into questions and exclamations. Exclamations. All right. So you read your first sentence. You decide, is it going to be a question or are you going to be using a exclamation mark? I think the lesson was quite successful, seeing that the learners understood the instruction, and when actually doing the work card, they were really interested, and I think that gave them confidence, and I'm pretty sure that they know after today what an exclamation mark and a question mark is.